Hi, Weather Joey here with your bottom of the South Island weather recap and forecast for Monday, November 24th, 2025. Before we get into the recap and whatnot, I just wanted to express my gratitude. My gratitude today. I was out in the woods today and had some time and really reflected on how wonderful and how gracious I am for having this life and for having this life on this land and the privilege of growing up here to live, to breathe, to experience nature and people and love and all these different things. So much gratitude goes out today. And before I get started, as always, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank and acknowledge the people whose land this is and always has been. Them, their ancestors, their relationship to nature, their relationship to the all. May we learn from that. May we come to respect ourselves and learn to respect their traditions. Anyway, lots of thanks. And feeling gracious. Yeah. So, let's look back at the last forecast. Let's see, everything went pretty much as planned. We talked about a system last Wednesday, the 19th. We said, it's going to break apart and really cut off a low down here and send some weather down into California. This did in fact happen. It was less of a cut-off low and more of a trough. So a little bit of a difference there, but still we saw the same thing here. The bigger difference came on Friday when we said this front was going to come through and across the coast on Friday. Well, instead of a distinct front, it became more of just a minor atmospheric river that hit the coast. So all fueled by a deep low up here, if you remember. Hit the Central Coast Haida on the 20th. Hit that pretty hard. And this slowly progressed. By the time it got to us on that Friday, it had fizzled out. So that really kind of dissipated. However, this low continued to spin, and it did draw another band of moisture that hit in later on the 21st, the evening, and really lasted all day through the 22nd into the evening of the 22nd. So that was kind of unexpected, and that was happening as this low slowly filled. Now, as we got into yesterday, which was Sunday the 23rd, this frontal sort of thing had pushed on through. We had a little bit of a generally westerly flow here, some gusty winds down the coast, clearing things out, drying things out, still mild through all of that, so no major snow on the lower hills, some up in the Alpine, up in the higher Alpine. As we got into Sunday, clearing things out, a little break in there, and this westerly flow is what's with us right now, and this carried into today. Really calm day today. I think we talked about that. A mellow westerly flow. We saw the little residual bits of a front go through, a tiny little sprinkle here and there. However, we're seeing for tomorrow more of a major front come through. Now this is kind of related to a general low up here, but more of a major front coming through tomorrow with more wind and more rain. These are cooler temperatures, so this little thing that went through today, little dusting of snow to the lower hills, the lower ski hills. We're going to see another, for those of you out there, we're going to see another little, another decent dusting actually, because this next system on Tuesday, tomorrow, is going to come through with a fair amount of precipitation, like I said, fair amount of wind, still fairly cool, so we will see some snow in those hills dropping. However, by Wednesday, we're going to see a little low spin up here, drift up and develop. Now, Wednesday itself, after that Tuesday front goes through, Wednesday itself looks like it's fairly calm and nice. Bit of sun and cloud, but we're not expecting any rain out of that. But this little system that's spinning up offshore is going to draw some warmer air again and some moisture up from the southwest, south-southwest, raising freezing levels again. So that's going to pretty much wash away any new snow we got on the lower hills. The Alpine, higher Alpine, still going to get some snow, so they're building up a snowpack. Busted my chalk, got to get another piece. Here we go. Break it in half, and that's what I'm working with. So, that came in. That's coming in on Wednesday, but it's really going to affect on Thursday more so. That's when most of the rain and wind later Wednesday night into Thursday. So a major little storm there that's going to cross the South Island. It looks like, and as we're into Friday, so Friday sees the big change as this low goes through. This is where Friday's the 28th, bit of a transition day. We're going to see this low go through, and in behind, we got lots of cool air up here. Lots of cool air, and we got high pressure potentially here. So as this low goes through, we're going to start to see the flow go towards the northwest, coming down through here, which means much cooler temperatures on into next weekend and the start of winter, an early start. Actually, quite often it starts around right around December 1st, which is my a special day for us around here. So coming in from the north, cooling down. We're still going to see some clouds by Saturday, which is 5 days from now. We should be clearing out quite nicely. Cold, dry air coming in. Not quite an Arctic freeze, but really we'll be getting a taste of that out there. So first, we did, by the way, just to mention, we did have frost this morning, which was from Sunday's clear skies, hanging on overnight in that cooler little temp. But like I said, on Thursday, we're going to get some warmer precipitation. Back to next weekend. Colder northerly flow. That should clear things out on the weekend. We might even see a little bit of snow, lower levels, as this cold air moves in on that old moisture from Thursday, Friday. We'll see. Maybe Friday night into Saturday, a little bit of snow, quite often that. But once that cold air sets in, there's always a chance of snow at sea level here, even in late November, early December. And it looks like this flow will continue on next week or early next week, and we may see a system come in from the northwest on the Monday, which is the first day of December. That could bring snow, maybe even Tuesday. It looks like this will back off a little bit, but then more of a cool northwesterly flow. So winter to arrive by Saturday, if not Friday. Let's call it Saturday. It's the 29th. Yes. And it looks like it will continue on. So early winter. And we'll give you a little fall seasonal recap to look back on what kind of fall it was. Not particularly wet. Pretty average October. November looks a little bit drier than average. We'll see what comes up out of these couple systems, what the totals add up to, but nothing particularly out of the ordinary. Kind of mild for November. But anyway, hope that helps you out in the future to learn a little bit about what's going on with us. All my friends out there, a small gift from me to you. Again, thankful, and as always, may the forecast be with you.